This video that I'm making tonight is a message for those of us who really want to understand what's happening now from a spiritual point of view, because that's actually what's happening right now, is a spiritual, some people call it an ascension, that there is a upgrade that seems to be absolutely necessary right now. If we ever needed a awakening, now is the time. We've been living our lives, most of us thinking, oh, an awakening would be a good idea, maybe someday I'll have an awakening and have some kind of spiritual upgrade or something. It's like, and there's been a feeling, kind of subconsciously, that if we awaken or not, it's a bit of a, it's not necessarily going to impact the rest of society that much. If we have an awakening or not, it's like more like a personal thing. But actually now, the necessity, the need for a collective awakening is really, really strong. The awakening that I'm referring to is the awakening from a static paradigm, and I'll go into a little bit about what I mean by that, to an ecstatic paradigm or possibility. And so we're moving from the static to the ecstatic. This sounds good, right? So static, anything that is enslaving is static. Static has stuckness in it. It has stagnancy in it. The other piece is anything that's actually has staticky in it, that is confusing, obfuscated. It's covered over. All of those things. Those are all things that are used to actually enslave us. The enslavement paradigm is one where you've given your power away, where you do not have the power to say, this is how I'm going to live my life, and I am connected to Source directly, and through that Source connection, which is through your own personal vertical alignment into the universe, which is in your own direct experience into the universe, that sovereign connection with your own source connection. From that source connection, your power is direct from the universe, rather than being something that is being directed by something that's in the horizontal field of the matrix reality that is telling you how you can heal, what you can think, how you need to feel even. The static paradigm is very limited. It's very myopic. It's very much in a jail cell. It's like, this idea that we've been quarantined, this idea that the planet has been under quarantine. This is something that is an idea that was in the, I've heard that idea from a long time ago, that those of us that have listened to cosmic ideas of where we are in relationship to the rest of the cosmic community, that this planet has been under quarantine for a long time. They've called it a prison planet. Maybe you've heard that term. And why? Why would that be? Well, because we've been in a very limited stream of consciousness that's been trying to work through some very old traumatic wounding that has kept us in enslavement kinds of paradigms. That is where we've given our power away. The lesson right now is about not giving our power away. And we have to really, to be able to do that, we really have to come back in to understanding how we have been interacting here in this reality, and take some responsibility for that. We actually have to come back in to the awakening. The awakening is not just how we've been enslaved, but how we ourselves have been interacting with enslavement, how we have had our own. This is where the power is where we come into understanding where and how we have been engaging in enslavement paradigms. And there's so many ways that we've been programmed and seduced into those paradigms that we're waking up to. You see, this is where we start to understand what does it mean to be in an enslaved paradigm. It's actually, we need to, what we're really waking up to is how we are enacting enslavement programming from the inside. And that's why it's all being reflected out there. So this is a really big level of taking responsibility. And if we can understand this from the inside, how these programs are working, it will change. It will change out there. This is a spiritual work. It actually is a work from the inside. It's an inside job, right? I mean, once we start waking up to the patterns that have been enslaving us, then we have to know how to redirect our energy. We have to figure out how to stop doing those patterns and open up, conceive of the possibility of different patterns that would feel way better and be way healthier and be encouraging the universe that we really want to be in, which is going to feel good. The place where we want to stop being in a world that doesn't feel good. It just seems so obvious, and that is leading towards disease and toxic death. I mean, it ultimately leads towards its death. And it's not that, we all do drop the body eventually, but and that's a whole different story. That's a whole different thing to talk about and worthy. But what I mean, on the planet, this can be living for way longer. It should be living for way, way, way longer and just getting better and more beautiful and more beautiful. Obviously, that's what should happen here on this planet. That's what can happen here on this planet. Our level of intelligence can grow just radically, just, oh my God, what's possible here as humans. I mean, that's ecstatic. That's in the ecstatic paradigm where we want to move into, right? Yeah, but right now we seem to be engaged in this strange static paradigm where I don't have any say. These are the memes that we're being seduced into. These are the programs, the mindsets, the very limited bands of frequencies that are available of how to think and how to be and how to feel and what you can do. And it's like, right now it's becoming just compressively, ridiculously limited, just over the top, just like so radical. It's hard to imagine that we could have gotten ourselves here. But there must be some way that if this is a spiritual moment, if this is a moment for us, living here is for us to be able to develop ourselves into something that is just so much more grand, and there is so much possibility in living here on this planet in these kinds of bodies. These bodies have so much more possible, and so much more intelligence can be had in how we live here. And this is coming, and it's not all because of technology. That is a technocratic, the technocratic paradigm is not, it's enslaving. it's limited. It's highly limited, even though it feels like it has all of these goodies in it, all of these little, presence in it of, virtual realities and, all kinds of stretches of the imagination. And, if you go towards transhumanism, which is, big subject, big enslaving subject, the transhumanist idea is that you get all these superpowers, but it's all dependent. It's all dependent on technology, which is, actually, it's highly limited. It's highly limited. It has only a certain set. The technology, it's built on ones and zeros. It's like, and there's infinity out there, It's like, even though there's an infinity within the exploration of ones and zeros, there's also kind of and you can get stuck there. And that's what they're trying to do, is like to get us to stick ourselves there. It's like, to make it look so attractive and to make it also look like there's nothing else happening. This is what's going on. But actually, there is so much more happening. And it's like the universe is like right at our door, where it's like knocking and going, hello? Gee, do you think maybe you'd like to try something a little different here? Maybe all of that technology and, plus, okay, so the whole way that our health system is being managed to be ruled by that technocratic paradigm, clearly that's enslaving. That does not trust that our bodies, that this technology from a much more intelligent realm, way more intelligent, no way that any one of us, or a team of us could have designed this. It's like, this has been developing since the dawn of reality. It's like this is a very, very big intelligent vehicle that we're riding in, and that we have the potential to interact with and learn from and make a really good ride. We're supposed to be really enjoying this. This is supposed to be a really good ride. It's so clear that it has that potential. So all we have to do is just pay attention, that's the payment, is your attention. And they're trying to extract that payment into attending to what the outer is saying, where you should be paying your attention. This is how we are seduced into the enslavement paradigms, those static paradigms, is that we pay to it our attention. And it's not that we shouldn't exactly pay attention to it, because God, it sure has got a hold on us. And we need to become aware of how it's got a hold on us. And we also need to be able to know, the way that it's acting and it's engaging, and that I'm engaging with it, it doesn't feel good. I need to really get hip to those kinds of inner configurations of my attention, and which creates configurations, which supports the configurations of social network, of the whole thing, of how humans at least are interacting with reality. It's like invested in that. I've paid my attention to that. And it's a lot, like they're really trying to get everybody to do that right now. It's like, they want everyone's attention there, That seems really clear. So, but that's not the paradigm I want to be in. That is not the paradigm I want to be in. I know that so much more is available. I know that this reality has so much more miraculous things possible that are not that. And, acknowledge in yourself how you know that. It's so important. It's so important. We need to be able to conceive that there is way more that is a huge universe that's open to us. And this is a very tiny, very limiting paradigm that is currently, that we've been living under. And, you know, maybe all of the turmoil that we're going through is actually helping us at this time. We would not have been able to just gracefully mute into something else at this time. It was too entrenched, and we were too entrained and enculturated in these patterns. They were too dense. And the only way to kind of break us out of that is, it's got to be, unfortunately, it's got to be, you know, there's got to be a lot of power behind it. You know, we have to really, really see it for its, we have to really be able to say no, you know, no, I do not agree with that. I do not agree with that. And you actually do have some responsibility that you can take there, that is trying to be taken from you. This is when we give our power away, we give away our self-responsibility, and it's with our self-responsibility that we come back into our own sovereign reality. You know, we have needed and wanted safety, and this is all engineered to take advantage of this wounding that we carry deeply in our species, of not having felt safe, and having felt taken advantage of, having been taken advantage of, and having been misjudged, and having been disrespected, and not having been able to give our gifts, and oh my God, being controlled at so many levels, being enslaved. You know, that is so disrespectful. Enslavement, it's just so disrespectful. But yeah, but you know, how to really pull ourselves out of that is that's the work, right?